Dusty, what's your favorite chip flavor? Sour cream and onion.
I mean, I guess it's one of my favorites. I guess it's one of the good ones. Yeah, why?
Just asking.
This one's cheddar though. It's pretty good.
What cheddar and sour cream?
I hate both of you.
You didn't even. Yeah, he didn't even read it.
Just cheesy chips.
He saw cheddar and just went for it.
Well, when I went into that bag, my only thing was don't grab the chili cheese. Just on the offset, like if there's even a kick of any kind of taco seasoning in there, I'll be like, nah, I'll just cheesy chips. Cheesy chips are good.
You're kidding me. Not even those Fritos.
I mean, they're probably okay, but like I'm just saying, like that's the one thing in there.
Oh,
well, I don't like the puffs either. The puffs are dumb.
You don't like taco
Bruh.
seasoning? Is it spicy or does it just not taste good?
No, chili cheese Fritos.
It's probably not spicy, but I wouldn't expect it to taste good.
Okay.
No, they're
like,
great. But
like
they're
a chili cheese dog. Like
they're perfect actually for taco salad.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I'm sure in a taco salad it makes way more sense.
You just don't want to shove a bag full of like taco seasoning in your mouth.
Just I don't know. I'm getting the sense that they taste like beef, and that's not what I want. A beef flavored corn chip or a
No.
bean flavored corn chip. It's got to be.
I don't like beans, but if you don't think that you want a beef flavored chip, then do you not like nachos? Or do you not put beef on your nachos?
Very rarely have nachos. Tends to be just cheese. I mean, every once in a while I go to a party and they got that, the cheese with meat in it.
What kind of nachos have you been eating?
Not very many nachos. Nachos is one of those things I don't consider it to be a meal. It's chips. It's like it's a side if anything.
Even loaded nachos with like meat, vegetables,
if you
and
load it up
cheese.
with a whole lot of stuff, it is a meal.
It's a fancy salad.
Go to the Mexican place last year, whatever. I don't remember what the actual name of it is, but I know where it's at. And just get their Nacho Supreme, and they just load that bitch up with you can get ground beef on it, but it's mostly just a shit ton of shredded chicken, shrimp, and steak.
Whenever I go to one of those shitty bistros that like have overly priced cheap items, like we got really good steak for really low price compared to like other fancy restaurants, that's actually a garbage steak. So I'll look at their appetizers and I see loaded nachos for like $8 and it's actually a lot of nachos. And I'm like, this is actually an okay deal versus their $15 filet mignon and it's like this.
Right, like a tiny medallion or something.
It's just garbage.
I got laughed at really hard when I was still going, when I was going to school in Indianapolis for like the programming stuff. There was one day where it just hit me like, man, I really want nachos. And we're in the heart of downtown Indianapolis. And I looked up a bunch of places, and a lot of places in the area had nachos. And then I ended up being like 45 minutes late coming back from lunch. And we weren't doing anything that day, and a couple of people were like, "Oh, hey, where have you been?" And they saw me just angrily eating like a Buffalo Wild Wing, like wings. And they're like, "Where have you been?" I was like, I tried to get nachos. And they're like, "You don't have nachos?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Then where have you been?" "I walked to a bunch of places to see if they had nachos." And I just went everywhere within about like a square half mile. So I went from restaurant to restaurant asking them, "Hey, do you have nachos?" Like if it said they had nachos on their menu. And then they'd be like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How's the ground beef?" And they'd always say it's really good, but can I try some? And then they give you some. Like they'll just give you like a little spoonful, and it was always so shitty and so terrible, but they wanted me to pay $12 for them to put that on top of chips. And then I would just go, "Yeah, no." And then I'd just walk out. And I did this to 12 different restaurants. And it wasn't until I explained this story to people in there, and then they started losing their minds, because they're like, "Hold on, you walked into 12 restaurants, asked if something was good, tasted it, and then just walked out?" Yeah. None of them were good. Spent a whole hour and 20 minutes doing that.
The quest for nachos.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that made me think, like, man, maybe I am autistic, because it really wasn't until somebody pointed out to me after I told them where I'd been. They're like, "You did this, yeah. Did you say anything to them other than no? Not generally. It's not a thing people do, apparently.
No, yeah, you definitely went like down the long, windy road on that one. That's
I just
Would
wanted.
you have a craving,
It's a
man?
lot
You
of
have
effort.
a craving.
If I'm paying $12 for nachos, they're gonna be good ass nachos.
but you got wings.
Well, that's because nobody had good nachos. So instead, I settled for shitty wings, and it's just because it was the closest restaurant to the school.
So wait, shitty wings are okay, but not shitty nachos.
If you pay for the right
I
price for
knew
shitty
it-
wings, like $5 for shitty wings.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's Buffalo Wild Wings. They're shitty wings, but I knew how shitty they were walking in. I ate them out of defeatism. I was defeated enough to eat those, still not defeated enough to pay an extra $6 for nachos.
I mean, you did say that that they spotted you angrily eating the buffalo wings. So, on top of that situation with shitty wings,
Furiously nibbling tiny wings. Picking the bones out and throwing them down, just be like, ah. Licking your fingers angrily. Just with a scowl on your face.
I don't do sauce on wings. I like to taste the meat. So I just do dry rubs, because dry rubs generally you can actually taste the meat underneath. But
Okay.
usually you can get enough flavor out of them if they cook them right. Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't, because you're supposed to dip it in the shit that you're gonna dry it in, or like it's a dry rub. So I rub the meat, then throw some breading on it, and then do it, or mix it with the breading and then dip it in that. No. They just give you like chicken tenders, or fucking like they'll just bake their wings and then they just kind of sprinkle some shit on top of it. So you might as well just put like garlic salt on top, because they do it after it's already fried and been sitting out. I've never had good wings at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
My mom's been buying wings from Pizza Hut.
They're
And-
actually good.
Well, I mean, I kind of felt like it was going down the same road where it's really just like a boneless chicken nugget or whatever. And then they just drown it in sauce. Like we get it in these buckets where it's like they put it in there and they shake it up. And it's just covered.
Oh,
in-
I get their dry rubs, and like they kind of do the same thing, but like it seems like they pull it straight out of the fryer and then roll it in the dust. So they don't cook it with it, but even with the dry rub, it's all of that wing has stuff on it, and it tastes good. I like their wings. I've never looked at the ones with sauce.
Yeah, that sounds better than having to like get it with a fork and then like shake the excess sauce off of it.
Yeah, I don't like the texture that sauce adds to wings, and I don't.
Oh no,
like,
yeah, like if your fried chicken becomes soggy,
yeah.
yeah, like,
I want nothing to do with that. And also the fact that 90% of the time you cover it in a sauce that makes you not taste anything underneath it.
right, yeah, you're just chasing straight like whatever Parmesan, garlicky,
Yeah.
whatever nonsense.
And it's like, I want to taste chicken. That's why I got chicken.
Mhm.
If I wanted the Parmesan nonsense stuff, I'd get something that's very bland, like a French fry, and dip it in it.
Or a nacho. Did we make it to town?
Oh, yeah.
This is a segment.
I shouldn't have told you that.
Well, because I feel like it's always gonna be me anyway. Like, I'll be the cap to the video. Oh, by the way, where were we?
Yeah. Convenience store. Foam. Thanks for the ride, Paul.
Y'all gonna need a ride back?
We'll find another way. You tend to them crops. Take care of them cows.
We gotta get all the way to Dallas. We could really use that track.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I don't expect somebody to drive from Louisiana to Texas. Oh my God.
I tip my hat, but I don't think I'm wearing a hat.
Probably not.
Y'all have a good one.
Is there liquor in this convenience store?
In the 60s, probably.
What day of the week is it?
It's a Thursday.
Is that historically correct?
Is Thursday historically correct?
Well, we're exactly 7 days out from
when...
the assassination.
God damn it.
Because you guys are there like the 12th. Or no. 5th. 15th. Because JFK died on the 22nd. I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah, we could find out this whole dude's fucking schedule if we had have actually done research on this. Like, a lot of people testified to his location the day before and during the assassination.
Neither one of you thought to Google Lee
Shut
Harvey Oswald.
Shut up, you drunk motherfucker.
Simone is drunk. Derek is on a track and field scholarship. He may keep his grades decent, but yeah, that's not something he thought of. Robin, what's her excuse? It had nothing to do with fashion or online personality, so
She was looking up the fashion.
And just because I don't want to. Nobody's going to remember my name for doing this. This is not superhero stuff. This is gay as shit.
This is gay. This is really gay. This is even gayer than the pile.
Nobody's like, I haven't been on my phone in like 5 seconds. This place sucks.
well, that was a Friday.
Oh, I was one day off. Damn it.
Well, you have to account for
Leap days? What are you?
No, it's more like
It's all those nanoseconds we throw on the clock. It really threw me off.
daylight savings, great shit.
Global warming.
Global warming is not real yet. It's the 60s.
Sure.
Okay.
I think you can hear me scratching on this.
We don't have shock mounts. Anything that vibrates the stand is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is definitely being picked up.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even touch the table.
I
then.
told you, we
Dude.
don't have shock mounts.
Yeah, that's why after the first session, I had to stop hitting the table like I usually
It's like,
do.
don't tap on the table. Don't bang on the table.
Of course, rub
Don't
my
even
belly
slightly
into
rub
the
table,
microphone.
like-
You gotta lick the table. You gotta date the table. You gotta be the table. Actually, I guess these microphone stands are like long enough that you could probably like extend them up and still be sitting down fine. But
Yeah, we've mentioned trying to do them on the floor. We probably should test it out one time.
At least one time, I
hate
guess. But
I was just kind of, yeah.
you're just over here banging the microphone. On
I'm not
purpose
even banging
just
it.
to
I'm
see
just touch.
Pillow talk.
Touch. I was just kind of bumping my nose against it, just very lightly.
Eskimo kissing my microphone. Is that too
Yeah.
much?
I hate all of it. I'm gonna start making other people
Start
edit
putting
it.
level of goblins. First
Dusty,
year.
here's a
That's
laptop. Here's
usually-
an audio editing software. Figure it out.
Figured out.
Kill a goblin, Maybe stab him against the wall, maybe give him a little kiss. Then the final level, you marry a goblin.
what the hell?
There's a whole Alex Jones thing about goblins.
Are they turning the goblins gay?
That's how it starts. I don't think it's actually Alex Jones, but somebody basically.
Somebody recovered like that small portion of it with the Goblin Slayer anime, and it's really perfect. Like you just start thinking about this with levels of goblins.
Oh my god.
One of my favorite Pathfinder adventures had like the first or second level of it. There's like a general like big overarching like here's the storyline setup, here's this, here's that, here's all these details about the inside of here, and then it just starts like over half of the first chapter actually just goes into detail about the dynamics of the goblins that are living in there. In that apparently there's a piece of cheese that one of them is hoarding, which is why the entire barracks smells like hell. But he's hiding the cheese, and it goes into the dynamics of people keep stealing it and hiding it because they're not allowed to have food in the barracks section anymore because it gets rotten. And they don't want to get in trouble, so they all just have like gotten to hiding it so that way the general can't find it. And it's like, why have you gone into this detail for a thing that the NPCs will never find, never interact with, and nobody talks to goblins? They're just going to murder all of them. Why did you print this?
Is this where you got the idea for your goblin barbarian that was obsessed with cheese?
Yeah.
I think we're picking up that dog.
Sounds like he's dying.
He might be. We're all dying on the inside.
Yeah, I think that dog might be dying on the outside with the way he barks.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Yeah, it's not.
Doggos are too good for this world. That's why they all go to heaven.
Not all dogs go to heaven.
Name one.
The movie.
I'll wait.
No, it's just I can't remember where that reference is from because I'm stealing this from a show I saw just the other day where somebody died and then they came back to life and then they were like, oh, by the way, I don't know how to say this, but not all dogs go to heaven. And he says something about some Nazi dogs or something. I can't remember.
That just makes me think of the guys who made Cyanide and Happiness made another animated show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like something Larry or something. It's about this guy.
Oh,
Sad Larry?
No,
No,
it's where he's.
It's not Sad Larry. Yeah, he's a guy that works in purgatory, and he hates it, and he just wants to move forward, but he can't. Like basically, he's the guy at a desk that when you show up in purgatory, he has to decide whether you go to heaven or hell, and he's really bad at his job.
Oh my god.
And he's like, their trailer is just him like talking to like, I think it's either God or he's talking to God.
Usually it's Death, isn't it? Death is his boss.
Is it? I don't know. He was talking to somebody and he's just like, can't I just move on? I'm really bad at this. Like nobody wants me here. I get things wrong. Like, can't I just go to like heaven? No, you can't go to heaven. Well, can I just go to like hell then? No, not even like dog hell. All dogs go to heaven, Jay. Oh, right.
How bad is he at his job? If that were a legitimate rule. Like...
He's just like, can't just go to like dog hell? No dogs. All dogs go to heaven.
Well, fun fact, in the Twilight series, dogs are not allowed in hell at all. There was a beautiful episode where an old man was walking to heaven, and he brought his dog with him. And they stop first at a gate where the guy tries to trick him into thinking it's heaven. But then he was like, but you can't take your dog. And this dude, no shit, was like, well, fuck heaven if I can't bring my dog. And he kept walking down the road.
That's how it goes.
Isn't it like some Christians, like animals don't have souls, so they don't go to heaven? I don't actually know where they go. They definitely don't go to heaven.
They don't go anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds like Christianity. Yeah, they don't have souls. They're built just for us to consume and use.
So
they're like robots.
I've had that conversation with priests before as a kid, and it went about kind of how Dusty was talking, where some of them are like, well, of course some of them go to heaven, and they're just lying to you, and then others are like, well, no, animals are this, and then I'm like, well, then fuck it.
It's like, are they like
fuck
robots to Christians or something like that? They're just mechanical nonsense tools or something?
They think that they were only put in place for...
to serve us, right? Like God created them to.
That's like crazy self-centered.
So
that's basically a lot of those religions. They all put humanity first.
It's like, well, no, because they're like, then we got to put God first.
And that's why much more would be like towards much more the nature.
It's like put humanity first, but no, actually put God first.
Well, it's a weird thing because it's like some people like to say he put him on this earth for us to like eat or whatever. Which doesn't make sense because we didn't eat any kind of like
right. Yeah, I guess when it comes to that, we didn't have to do any of the eating or anything until after old girl bit the apple.
At which point the animals were already there.
Right, and it was like, oh, you're mortal now, so it's time to start having kids and eating food.
And then he made it to where animals hated us.
Well, I'm sure they would just out of spite. I mean, fuck, we ruined their perfection.
Why would us getting kicked out of the garden get all the animals kicked out?
Because again, according to the religion, we are the center of everything.
So I'm gonna
God made everything for us. That's why we turned it into a trash heap.
I'm punishing you with mortality. So now you're gonna get old and all this. Also, all the animals,
Also,
except alligators and jellyfish.
has an
They didn't do
extra
anything wrong.
punishment for women because you
just to make
ate the apple.
Adam and Eve that much more sad, they had to watch all the animals start aging and dying.
Oh, maybe that was like that was a follow-up part that they didn't add a chapter for, where they're just like, nah, this ain't that bad. You know, it's just us. No problem. No problem. And
Because
then,
along the way, you know, they make maybe, you know, Adam does make a companion with a wolf, makes the first dog. Like, oh no, I got my best friend here.
I remember people telling me. Or at
Oh, and
least
then,
I get a period because it was Eve that ate the apple, and I was like, oh, okay, it's extra punishment for being a woman.
I think she was just the first one to bite it, because the way I understand it, Adam eventually ate one also.
Yeah, but
She had to
she
convince him.
convinced him, and that's what makes her worse. And so
Oh.
we get the period. I'm like, what if it was reversed? So men just start bleeding out their dicks every month.
we write our names in blood everywhere.
Oh my god. All winter long. Yeah, in cursive and
Yeah.
snowbanks.
I'm pretty sure if it was the other way around, they would just convince that's why your nuts hang out as a vulnerability or some shit like that. I don't know, just make up nonsense. That's why you get blue balls, because you ate the apple first.
Look, the Bible also says that when a woman's on her period, she's not allowed to interact with society. She has to go.
I have to banish myself into the woods until it's over.
And if you don't, it has a specific cost of it costs 2 turtles to the church
It's very.
as repentance.
What's the church doing with these turtles? Eating them?
I don't know.
Making soup.
I've always wanted to know, like, why? Why
Collecting
is it
rainwater.
turtles?
The friars are like, turtle soup.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody had her period again. Like, once a month we eat turtle soup. Like,
And like it's like all those women go out and just start hunting turtles. I was like,
oh yeah,
they'll
all the
just
girls
raise turtles.
in the village would synchronize.
No,
That's
they
not
would
it.
just, they would just raise turtles.
I mean, it's no, you don't synchronize. It's just they're always gonna have a period once a month. So they're definitely hanging out in the woods a lot,
So like, yeah, and that's why we believed you guys were out there doing witchcraft. You're always hanging out in the woods together,
getting turtles.
raising your turtles.